Brought to you by Tailored Wealth, helping business leaders live their version of a rich life.
Welcome to another edition of the Making Sense of Your Money podcast, where we cut through the financial noise and help business leaders to make smart, confident money decisions. All right. Hello again, and welcome to another edition of the Making Sense of Your Money podcast, where we help you take control of your finances, minimize uncertainty, and maximize your wealth potential and your life. I am again your host, Dan Pascone. I'm the founder and CEO of Tailored Wealth. And today I am excited to bring on and introduce a special guest. We've got Michele Campbell with us today. Michele is a founder and broker at MC Insurance Services. She specializes in the Medicare space. So Michele, thanks so much for joining me on the Making Sense of Your Money podcast. And we're excited to have you today.
Thank you, Dan. Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, you bet. We've got a lot to cover, and I know that our audience would love to get your expert take on some key topics, especially around Medicare and sort of what you do for folks that are entering into and getting to retirement age, and how they take care of their medical needs from there. So before we get into that, if you could just give us a quick 90-second overview of what your business does and maybe a little bit of your background and how you got into it.
Sure. So we're an independent agency, basically, that focuses on the Medicare space. So people turning 65 or older, retiring, they have to go on Medicare. And so it's usually kind of like a foreign language to them. It's the first time people are learning about it. So our role is to educate you and to teach about the ABCs of Medicare, and then basically find what's the best plan for you. Where you can, keep your doctors and works in your budget and all, meets your medical needs. My background is HR, and so I was in benefits for years. I've been on, also had my own business in Silicon Valley in electronics. So I was a buyer of insurance also for, with many employees. And so when I got licensed in 2006, it was kind of a natural transition to be an independent agent. I am an entrepreneur. And so getting my health license was just a natural, and I've loved it. When I went into the Medicare space 18 years ago, absolutely love it. It's a passion for me. And, so I think my business is pretty successful at this point, and we're still growing.
Good for you. I love talking to passionate entrepreneurs. It's one of my favorite things to do. So we're going to have some fun today. I'm looking forward to this. All right. So you gave us a quick high-level overview. I have a pretty good idea of this, but tell our audience what your ideal client looks like, and then what you ultimately help them to do at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. So the ideal client is somebody that needs to get on Medicare. For some people that are maybe on an individual health plan and they're getting ready, they're turning 65. So 6 to 3 months prior to going on Medicare, to turning 65, I should say, they should start educating themselves. Okay. And so that's a time for people to reach out. We're doing Medicare 101s, we call them, all the time. And that's just informational. And then as we get closer to you're actually going on Medicare, then we nail down the details of which plan and what's going to work for you. It could be somebody that's also still working and now they're getting close to retirement. And again, about 6 to 3 months prior to retiring is a time, that's the ideal client that we're talking to. But it's anybody that needs Medicare also. So it could be if someone gets laid off and it's today, at the end of the month, and they're going to have to go on COBRA, right? Next month. They're our ideal client too. We can help them too. It's everyone going on to Medicare. If someone has a retiree plan, they aren't our ideal. They're not our ideal client because they have a retiree plan. But sometimes they don't know if it's a good plan. So I always say, reach out and educate yourself and find out. It might be cheaper to go on Medicare than to go on that retiree plan.
Got it. That makes a lot of sense. Got it. Okay. Thank you for that, Michele. You mentioned Medicare 101 sessions. Tell me a little bit more about what those look like. How are the Medicare 101 set up, and what do you do in those programs?
Yeah, ideally, I like to do webinar style, but sometimes it's just a one-on-one Zoom call. It just depends on the situation. I have one recorded on my website, first thing you see, because I feel like a broken record, right? Repeating myself over and over. So it is nice for people to watch that video. But basically what it is it's just an education of the beginnings of Medicare. When you start looking at Medicare stuff, you'll see Medicare A, B, C, D. It's very confusing to people. And that's why we break it down, simplify it, and by showing you some graphics always helps. People are visual. So it's not just a bunch of words, and you're not just listening. You're listening and you're looking at something. And so we do it for medical groups, large medical groups. I'll have 300 people on a webinar that are all new to Medicare or coming up on Medicare. So I get tons of feedback that afterwards they're like, I've never seen it laid out like this. It's very educational. And they feel like that question mark that's kind of in their head about Medicare is starting to get filled in now. So
Got it. Got it. That's really cool. I love the webinar education. We do a fair amount of webinars and live events ourselves. So I'm a big proponent of that. Educate the potential customer, help them understand what you help them to do, give them free content, free education. And then for those that opt into it, help them from there. So, we do a fair amount of that. Michele, what are the top 3 challenges that your clients typically face? And then how do you help them to solve those?
I would say the top 3, let me think about that. Probably understanding the cost of Part B. So Part A is free. So original Medicare is just Part A and B. And understanding that like C and D, while they're required to have D, C and D come from private insurance companies. That's not, it's not offered by the government. So they're very confused by that. So it's understanding those pieces and really getting into the weeds on Part B, because there's a thing called IRMA and IRMAA. And that's a income related monthly adjustment amount where they charge more for Part B for high income earners. And I'm in Silicon Valley, so you can imagine there's a lot of high income earners here, and they have no idea how all that works. They just think they're going to pay this standard rate of $185, and all of a sudden they're paying $500-$600 a month. And, that's, as you know, as being in the financial world, part of your retirement is planning. And if you didn't plan for that, there's a 2-year look back. So it's educating them on that, and then how to appeal that also, and why and when you can appeal it. So I saved my clients thousands of dollars just with that knowledge alone.
We talk about that as a big component of the retirement piece of any financial plan, because our firm is we do a lot of financial planning, custom financial plans for folks, and understanding the Medicare component within retirement is a really important piece that oftentimes, especially earlier in life, gets overlooked.
Yeah.
Good insights there. Tell how do your clients typically find you? How do you get connected with those folks that obviously all Americans need this service, right?
Yeah.
How do they find you?
Yeah. It's kind of funny. There's much less insurance agents than there are like property and casualty, like for home and auto. They're on every corner, right? We're kind of like hiding out. We're not really. It's just that it's so hard. It's very expensive for us to market, and there's a lot of compliance rules because we're dealing with, the senior market is considered 65 and over. So with that, we have a lot of compliance. It makes it hard for us to market. So a lot of agents are working from their homes. They go out in the field and go to our clients' houses. I have an office, but not everyone does. Typically, for me at this level, I've been in the game a long time. I get referrals, and I'm referred by doctors' offices and medical groups, and insurance carriers are referring clients to me. But referrals is my number one source. We track every person that comes to us, and the majority is definitely referrals. But I'm also very active in my community, so I get a lot referred to from various organizations in my community and people that know me. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Good for you. Yeah, that was actually one of the questions I wanted to ask you. So I'll double click on that a little bit. You mentioned referral partners, because we have a lot of folks that are in different sort of spheres of the financial services space that tune in and listen to this podcast and view our other forms of content. So What types of referral partners do you typically work with? How do you collaborate with them? And then why do you think those partners ultimately refer clients to you?
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I actually left that was a big part of my referrals out. I work with a lot of property and casualty brokers or group brokers, like commercial brokers that refer Medicare to me on a regular basis. I think this is kind of a missing link, but HR people. I happen to have several groups that I work with the HR person. As everyone is in the company is turning 65, they're handing out my business information for them to contact me to educate themselves on Medicare.
Very cool. So you'll go in and do the Medicare 101s for the entire firm or a subset of the firm that's 65 or older. Yeah, I bet. We've done a little bit of that work ourselves, and I can see how that can work really, really well, especially given your geography, and especially given your background, right? You were in HR, you said, to start your career, so I'm sure you relate well to the HR and the benefit specialists. Very cool. Very cool. I love it. I love it. That's a really nice strategy there. Michelle, where do you see? Yeah, go ahead. Very cool. Very cool. That's a nice strategy for sure. You probably started to touch on this here, but where do you see your industry going in the next 5 to 10 years? Got it. Got it. All right. Good insights there. Thank you for providing all of that on your business, your industry, et cetera, your clients. Let's shift gears a little bit. We're going to talk about you. Tell me maybe a challenge that you can share with the group that you face in your life and how that's maybe shaped how you do business. Okay. Yeah, isn't it funny that those maybe perceived at the time failures are what lead to sometimes the greatest successes, oftentimes the greatest successes. I've seen that in my life, and that's a common theme that we've heard from our guests on the podcast. So always great to hear about stories of resiliency, overcoming challenges, and then what that ultimately leads to, because there are plenty of people out there that are facing challenges in their business or their life. And, hearing stories like that can help people to be resilient and know that, maybe it does go and lead to a great opportunity like it has for you. So congratulations and kudos to you on that. All right, Michelle, are you ready for the lightning round? So this is fun. We never tell our guests ahead of time because we want it to be genuine, we want it to be organic, and we want it to be fun. So it's pretty simple. I'm going to ask you a question. You're just going to give me the first thing that pops to your mind, and you can give some of these are one word, some of them are going to prompt you to tell a story. So let's get into it. Coffee or tea? Cats or dogs? What's one tool or piece of technology other than your computer or your phone that you can't live without? Good one. Good one. Favorite quote or phrase about money or success? Absolutely love that. Very good. Do you have a favorite book on finance, business, or success? That's a classic. Definitely a classic. Any personal hacks? So personal like productivity tips that you would share with? Yeah, there's a lot of great apps out there. Yep, clear. Are you an email zero person? You get the email zero? Good for you. Good for you. All right. Yeah, sure. Right. 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 I believe it. I believe it. What's one bucket list item that you've already accomplished? Very cool. Very cool. Love it. What is one financial milestone that you're still working towards? What is good for you? Good for you. Good for you. Congratulations on that. What's one financial mistake either you or someone else you've seen turn into a valuable lesson? What's one piece of financial advice that you would give to your younger self? That is really well said. That's one that we hear often. All right, Michelle, you are out of the lightning round. Congratulations. That was great. Really, really good stuff. Last question that we have for you. If our listeners want to connect with you, whether it be to learn more about your services, maybe attend one of those 101 courses that you do, or maybe it's a potential partner that wants to collaborate or work with you, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you? That's a good industry to be in for sure. And that's great information. And, I would highly advise, I mean, I think the education that your group is doing alone is worth its weight in gold. So folks that are interested in learning more, and or connecting with you and having maybe their clients or their connections learn more about the work that you do, we'll put Michelle's information in the show notes as well. So Michele, thank you so much. You've been great. Really enjoyed this conversation. Appreciate you being a part of the Making Sense of Your Money podcast. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. And everyone have a great day. Continue to build wealth, continue to have fun, and continue to live your life. Cheers.